going smoothly? Hello, welcome.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you fine.
Thank you.
Are you ready to give your talk? Also, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Yes, I am ready.
Perfect. I will leave it up to you then. Take it away, and thank you so much.
Very quick. Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie. I am going to present today on releasing software without releasing secrets. Let's start. So, a little bit about myself. I'm working as a senior engineer at HashiCorp on the release engineering team. I joined recently, less than a year, so it has been a really fun journey being part of this whole release engineering process. So today we're going to talk about the release management process itself. We're going to define what kind of secrets are these secrets. We are going to review the ways of managing secrets in the release workflows. And the demo will be around GitHub App that my team is designing to talk to Vault and use in GitHub Actions. So let's talk a little bit about the release process, what it is. Release process, it is process of one of the processes of software development cycle. It is complex and contains many different steps. So one of the steps are release workflow creation and management, configuring and setting different tooling, not just CI tooling, but everything around the workflows and automation. Releases processes most of the time should be compliant with security as well as audit. And there is always work of making them better, faster. And today we're going to look into the release pipeline example. So on this slide, I have a quick example of the pipeline. Here, after code completion, pipeline divides in two parallel ones where we are releasing, for example, open source software in enterprise. It had different stages like task, signing, authorization, staging, and publishing. And on this slide, we can see that during all those different stages, usually, most of the time, different secrets are used. So for example, in the test stage, we most of the time probably will use GitHub token or code coverage framework for test. In cases of signing authorization, we most likely have to log into third-party frameworks like Apple or Windows signing accounts. And if we're trying to publish something to prod, we are most likely going to use credentials which have high access. They probably use only during this particular stage in this pipeline. So what are the secrets? Every day we hear a lot of talks about credential secrets. We use them at work. So secrets, basically, it is something that should remain hidden from others. And the definition that I prefer is secrets are not open to public and they kept private or not revealed. And examples are passwords, API, SSH keys, could be different certificates, could be a lot of different things. And why in this talk I'm trying to position release secrets as something different is because as a release team, we most of the time during our work in automation, we are responsible for bigger amount of secrets, let's put it this way. They most of the time related to different release activities. It could be a CI pipeline, it could be release publishing or other steps. And in certain cases, these secrets are related to higher activities, right? From the previous slide, I had a production example where production secrets probably have more access to the things, and all the secrets, they should be managed accordingly, hopefully with security policies in mind, with certain rotation, with certain limit accesses, and auditing. So when my team started looking into the release management and our secret management, we decided to research what kind of common practices these days are present in the field. And the practices we saw were that some of the secrets are coded in the code, some of them are part of the source code management, for example, GitHub secrets, GitLab secrets. Some secrets could be stored in configuration files, built in container images, or stored in CI/CD tooling. So after we review all these practices, we were trying to find what are the ways for us to probably improve that situation, as well as set our own goals and come up with more secure way of storing our release secrets within the company. So the goals we try to achieve is discover secrets we manage, right? Some during long period of time, configuring different pipelines, some secrets get lost, some of them may be not rotated. So a good idea is to audit your own secrets, understand which one of them actually needed to be a secret, even that, and then enforce good practices, enforce rotation, enforce access management to those secrets. We decided to apply monitoring, auditing, and logging to the way how secrets are used in release processes, which will make this process more transparent to understand in the future if the secrets used appropriately, as well as do they really need to be secret, and if there's any anomaly happen, this process should be able to signal this kind of activities. And the other part that limiting third-party tools is a good practice, specifically if those third-party tools are doing the same job, like, for example, selecting one CI provider, or if the company uses multiple secret storages, it's a good idea to probably aggregate them in the same one tool. And one of the goals we set up, which is not the low priority, but it's just the one I want to highlight, is enable every team in our company to actually manage the secrets during the releases, because our team is trying to create this process, the workflow where everyone should be able to release at any time. And that's why we're hoping that every team can be independently and not blocked by any of that. So if there is a better way to do it, yes, we've decided that HashiCorp Vault is a perfect tool for the case. We decided to use GitHub Action with the GitHub self-hosted runners for all the automated release-related workflows in the company. Setting up Vault cluster, one of the ways that we think like managing actual Vault for release processes seems like a good goal. And for that, we're going to use Terraform module, which is going to be released in the future for enterprise Vault integrated storages, which is recommended by practitioners. During this process, there were different ways how different parts of the Vault implementation and, for example, GitHub Action could be implemented. And by this talk, I'm trying to highlight that there are different ways of making this happen. And the way we decided to go will be covered later. And one of the ways is no manual steps are always a better way. So here is the change that we decided to do, is changing the workflow, most likely adding one extra step where it's still a release pipeline, but the stage which will improve that is where after creating certain GitHub repositories, for example, for certain releases, we will have a specific service. In this slide, it is Lambda, which will be triggered by repository creation. And what it will provide us opportunity to talk to Vault, and from Vault, creating secrets and role IDs, which in the future will be used by different GitHub Action to use in certain workflows. And after that, implemented, publishing those releases. So apart from setting up Vault, we decided to enable app role within Vault. The reason for that is app role is a recommended authentication method to use with different machines or services, and GitHub Action is actually a perfect case for that. With the app role, we can configure different policies where a specific action acquiring the token can access a specific set of secrets related to this particular workflow. This will, moving forward, implementing the Lambda from the previous slide will help us to solve the problem of the secret zero, because getting the Vault token to authenticate to get the secrets has to be done also secure. So AppRole contains two major things that we wanted to add to the repo. It is role ID and secret ID. Role ID is identifier. It doesn't have to be super secure. So it is, it doesn't have to be securely stored. So it was a good idea to add it to every GitHub repo on the run when the workflow starts. And secret ID is a specific credential. And the interesting part that it could be configured in different ways, defined, for example, by amount of the time pipeline is taken, or amount of the times it could be used within the workflow. So the step I described is adding Vault to the actual workflow. And our implementation steps were next. Decision was as I said, GitHub Action acquiring the token. It creates the role ID and the secret ID associated with this role. And then when the action starts, it can actually get the needed secret. And the question was how to actually do it, because there is no a good way or common way or practices on the market at this point. So we decided to build a GitHub app, which actually do exactly this work. And this slide is just describing what the GitHub app will do in this scenario. It will add role ID and secret ID to each and every repo in the creation. And then the secret ID can be configured. As I said, it could have TTL or number of users. And creating GitHub app was an interesting idea. We decided to implement it with AWS and Lambda. Before using Lambda, we would create certain policies at Vault in order how the Lambda could be authenticated with Vault. It should have specific IAM role in the Vault cluster and deployed to the same AWS environment. And here is, I'm going to present a short demo, just to describing what I was just talking about. So it is hard to reproduce it locally, but at this point, I already have Vault running. I went ahead and pre-configured GitHub app, which actually will be the app to monitor activities around GitHub organization. And on the repo creation, add role ID and secret for specific repositories. So over here, I already predefined all this needed information. And I'm currently using, for the webhook, the third-party service just for demo purposes. So over here, I can see all the activities all what's happening on the org level. And locally, I have my Lambda running. We will be monitoring Doggish org with a demo repo. It just so the way this proxy is working, I already went ahead before the demo and created different events. And here we can see that this repo was created. I can replay it. And replaying it, meaning I can create certain events. Like here, we can see that my Lambda just got request, and this request was initialization of repository, meaning demo repo was created. Just to describe what just happened, is that I have this demo repository, and if I refresh the page, we can see that the role ID was already created, so the secret ID just got updated from Vault. And just to describe more in depth, I can probably describe by showing the code, where here in this GitHub app, we have just basic Lambda, and it implemented by handler. Our handler, after getting all the configuration for talking to GitHub repo, for getting information about Vault, it monitors all the activities. In this scenario, I try to reproduce the repository creation, which is adding repository action to the org. And basically this action over here is going to be this event, and the webhook monitors this particular event, and on adding the repository, it goes ahead and creates a secret, which was the current, which was the role ID and secret ID. So this is basically the whole presentation. The summary we can have from it that the release process is not just managing the secrets, it's also auditing them. It's also making sure that specific secrets are used for specific job. And I guess thank you for listening to my talk.
Thank you so much for joining us today in your presentation. This was great.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm just checking notes really quick here. Let's see. Okay. I believe, we've got both our speakers here in Zoom for our next talk. So that is great. And they're going to be talking to us about maintaining a provider from the GitHub perspective.